We resume question time. The Honourable Third Member for Pamplemousse-Drieuet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B1057.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I wish to inform the House that the Division of the Veterinary Services of the Ministry has received application for permit for the importation of livestock from 3 importers, that is Suivez, Ubora Ventures Limited, and Panju Mamad Ishan Musa in 2025, and all 3 importers have been issued with import permits during the year. As regards Part B of the question, it is clear from my reply to Part A, there is no monopoly or dominant position in the sector. Concerning Part C of the question, 2 importers have made application during the month of October and November 2025. An import permit has been granted to Suivez Bellevue Limited, whereas the application of Ubora Ventures Limited received on the 26th of 2025 for import of 700 cattle from South Africa is awaiting determination. I am informed, Madam Speaker, that the reason for the delay in processing the application of Ubora Ventures is because a preliminary environmental report is awaited from the Ministry of Environment, Solid Waste Management and Climate Change.
Yes, Mr. Rufi?
The Honourable Minister advised the House if the whole approval process at the end of the day rests with the 2 veterinary officers of his ministry.
It does not rest on 2 veterinary officers of the ministry, but it rests on the advice tendered by them. And of course, the matter is then referred to the ministry to ensure that there is full assessment, in the light of which a decision is taken to serve the interests of all parties concerned.
Thank you. Yes. Honourable Second Member for Belrose and Quatre-Bornes. Chief Whip.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. 1058.
Madam Speaker, with your permission, I propose to reply to PQB 1058 and PQB 1073 together, as they relate to the same subject matter.
73.
1073.
Thank you.
I wish to thank the honourable members for raising these questions, which have been a real concern since I took office and even long before as member of the opposition. My colleagues will agree with me that a child's place is not in a shelter, and certainly not in a psychiatric hospital. With regard to minors removed from their families, I am tabling the information of children who are admitted in public hospitals, including Brown Sequoia Mental Health Care Hospital, with the dates of admission and discharge. These children are under a court order granted by the Children's Court. Madam Speaker, reasons for overstaying at hospitals are multiple, ranging from A, residential care institutions licensed under the Residential Care Institutions Regulations of the Children's Act 2020 to admit children of specific age group are running at full capacity. Accepting a new resident will breach capping, ratios, or supervision standards. B, staffing levels in existing RCIs cannot be adjusted to ensure care, particularly for those children with psychiatric disorders and mental illness, which result in the display of behavioral attitudes and aggressivity. 3, children with psychiatric illness, mental disorders, sexualized behaviors require one-to-one care attention, and the existing staffing level in RCIs cannot attend to same. This requires additional recruitment, and there is a serious lack of caregivers on the job market. Given the situation, hospitals provide this safe supervision until a compliant placement becomes available. I am informed that overstay occurs only when all legally permitted alternatives are exhausted. It is also important to flag out that one of the measures that we have taken is to entrust children in foster families. For the first time, we marked the Foster Care Day this year, and more than 100 families have registered as potential foster parents. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that, with regard to overstay of minors in hospitals, a first meeting of a steering committee, co-chaired by my colleague, the Honourable Minister of Health and Wellness, and myself, was held on 11th August to discuss and find solutions. Discussions were also held on the appropriate and dedicated support to be provided to these children. Subsequent meetings, co-chaired by representatives of my ministry and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, were held on 18th August, 2nd September, and 28th October this year, respectively. Madame la Présidente, nous avons hérité d'une situation complexe. La plupart de nos carers ne disposent pas de formation nécessaire pour accompagner, encadrer, réhabiliter les enfants qui nous sont confiés, particulièrement ceux dits with behavioral concern. Et comme le Children's Act 2020 désigne l'hôpital comme place of safety, il y a eu une tendance ces dernières années de placer ces enfants au Brown Sequoia Mental Health Care Hospital par défaut. C'est une situation qui a duré pendant de longues années. Or, ces enfants ne représentent pas un groupe homogène. Il n'existe pas de solution unique. Chacun connaît une réalité personnelle, souvent bouleversante, avec des besoins spécifiques qui requièrent une approche individualisée. Madame la Présidente, je dois attirer l'attention de cette Chambre sur une pratique qui a été tolérée sous l'Ancien Régime et qui doit cesser immédiatement: la surmédication systématique des enfants placés en milieu psychiatrique. Nous sommes d'avis que le placement en milieu psychiatrique doit être l'exception, jamais la règle, et limité dans le temps. Il nous faut des structures spécialisées de type thérapeutique communautaire avec des équipes multidisciplinaires. Les admissions prolongées en psychiatrie sont reconnues comme contraires au développement de l'enfant. Madame la Présidente, que proposons-nous? Premièrement, revoir la législation pour limiter strictement la durée de séjour des enfants dans nos établissements hospitaliers. Deuxièmement, promouvoir les familles d'accueil pour permettre aux enfants de vivre dans un environnement familial. Cela nous évitera d'ouvrir de shelters. Concernant les enfants présentant des troubles comportementaux, nous avons constitué un comité présidé par le secrétaire permanent de mon ministère pour transférer le Rehabilitation Youth Center, le RYC, actuellement sous tutelle du bureau du Premier ministre, vers mon ministère. L'objectif est de mettre en place un véritable programme d'encadrement et de réhabilitation. Cela nécessitera un changement de mentalité profond. Certains officiers demeurent convaincus que leur rôle consiste à punir ces enfants, à les corriger. Ces vieilles habitudes sont tenaces et doivent être combattues. Comment? En recrutant les personnes appropriées et en les formant adéquatement. C'est ce que nous proposerons dans le prochain budget. Madame la Présidente, concernant la question de l'après 18 ans, malheureusement, nous ne disposons actuellement d'aucune solution de logement. Le sujet a été évoqué avec mes collègues, le ministre du Logement et des Terres, et celui du ministère de l'Intégration sociale, de la Sécurité sociale et de la Solidarité nationale, nous nous pencherons sur la question. En attendant une solution étatique pérenne, nous sommes en pourparlers avancés avec une ONG qui accueille déjà certains de nos enfants et qui serait disposée à leur fournir un hébergement temporaire jusqu'à ce qu'ils acquièrent une autonomie financière. Madame la Présidente, tout est à revoir. Les shelters censés être des refuges provisoires sont malheureusement devenus des lieux d'hébergement permanent. Il est impératif de repenser l'encadrement de nos enfants. Notre mission n'est plus simplement de les garder, mais de les préparer à la vie. C'est à cette tâche que mon ministère s'attelle avec détermination, dans les limites de nos moyens actuels, mais avec la ferme volonté d'apporter les changements structurels que ces enfants méritent. Je vous remercie.
Merci. Allez-y.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. Je remercie la ministre pour sa réponse hier. Hier, en visitant certains hôpitaux, j'ai été témoin d'une réalité bouleversante, comme l'a si bien dit la ministre. 25 enfants placés par le ministère restent bloqués dans nos hôpitaux, faute de placement. Et je me permets une petite parenthèse pour dire que j'ai été agréablement surprise de rencontrer, une minute, c'est un sujet qui n'est pas politique, et je voudrais qu'on me donne le temps de poser ma question. C'est un sujet sensible, pas politique, alors donnez-moi le temps de m'exprimer. J'ai visité des hôpitaux, j'ai rencontré du personnel passionné, et vraiment, c'était bien. La ministre trouve-t-elle acceptable que rien que pour 2025, 18 enfants placés, pourtant autorisés à quitter l'hôpital, sont privés de scolarité, d'un placement et pire, exposés aux infections? Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente.
Madame la Présidente, naturellement, je ne trouve pas cela normal du tout. C'est pourquoi j'ai dit dans ma réponse que nous explorons toutes les possibilités pour que ces enfants puissent d'abord être confiés à des familles d'accueil. The last resort will be the shelter. Nous sommes sur la même longueur d'onde, Madame la Présidente. Je suis tout à fait d'accord avec l'honorable membre que la place des enfants ne se trouve pas dans les hôpitaux ni dans les shelters. La place d'un enfant est dans une famille biologique de préférence, dans sa famille biologique de préférence, mais s'il y a des problèmes, si des problèmes persistent dans la famille biologique, donc la dernière solution serait une famille d'accueil.
Famille étendue aussi, pas juste biologique.
Oui.
Next of kin, they call it.
Exact.
Yes.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Je remercie l'honorable ministre pour sa réponse, que j'ai bien écoutée par rapport à la question B1073. En attendant les autres ministères concernés, est-ce que la ministre peut confirmer s'il y a eu une étude approfondie à ce sujet et comment aider ces jeunes qui autrement vont finir leur vie dans les rues ou entre les mains des réseaux de drogue sans encadrement approprié? Merci.
Madame la Présidente, à ma connaissance, il n'y a pas eu jusqu'ici d'études faites concernant le cas de ces enfants-là. Mais nous procédons actuellement à, allons dire, un survey inofficiel pour voir le nombre d'enfants touchés par ce problème et essayer de voir des alternatives pour confier ces enfants-là dans des structures appropriées autres que les rues.
OK.
Merci, Madame. Madame la ministre, peut-elle confirmer, est-ce qu'il y a un time frame pour cela et combien de temps que ça va prendre?
Je suis désolée de dire que cela va prendre le temps qu'il faudra parce que nous disposons de peu de moyens financiers. Il nous faudra attendre le prochain budget pour savoir s'il y a un time frame ou pas. Donc, à ma connaissance, nous travaillons, allons dire, à un rythme effréné pour pouvoir confier ces enfants-là, allons dire, les abriter comme il se doit, mais il n'y a pas de time frame, cela va prendre le temps qu'il faudra. Comme je vous dis, on travaille avec des moyens très très limités. Il nous faudra voir dans le prochain budget comment faire pour aller plus vite.
On ne parle pas assis, mademoiselle, Miss.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. Les social workers du ministère de la Santé ne sont présents qu'aux heures de bureau et en demi-journée le samedi. La ministre trouve-t-elle raisonnable que pendant tout le reste du temps, aucun carer ne soit fourni par son ministère pour encadrer les enfants placés dans nos hôpitaux? Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente.
Yes, Minister.
Bien sûr que ce n'est pas normal, Madame la Présidente. Ce n'est pas normal du tout. Mais je le dis et je l'ai dit et je le redis. Nous avons des caregivers qui ne sont pas formés du tout. Nous avons hérité malheureusement d'une situation complexe et difficile pour nos enfants. Certains caregivers travaillent de bonne foi, mais il y a d'autres qui peut-être veulent travailler, mais n'ont pas la formation nécessaire pour encadrer, accompagner, allons dire même surveiller ces enfants-là. Donc, on n'a pas le nombre de carers formés à ce sujet.
Une petite dernière, Madame.
Je comprends l'importance de cette question. Je pense que vous savez pourquoi. Allez-y. Je vous laisse.
Une petite
Madame la
dernière.
ministre, vous êtes chez le grill, là. Il faut accepter. Il faut accepter. C'est normal.
Alors, la ministre peut-elle confirmer à la Chambre si elle est informée que des mineurs qui ont été que plusieurs mineurs ont été envoyés directement au Brown Sequoia Hospital par son ministère sans même avoir été pris en charge par un hôpital classique? Juge-t-elle cette pratique acceptable? Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Madame la Présidente, je ne suis pas au courant de ce cas. Si l'honorable membre a les informations précises, je lui demande de ne pas hésiter de venir vers moi pour que je puisse enquêter davantage et trouver une solution, bien sûr.
Merci beaucoup, Madame la Présidente. Puis-je demander à l'honorable ministre si elle est au courant de ce cas de ce jeune garçon âgé de 17 ans et forcé en ce moment de rester dans un hôpital public jusqu'à ce qu'il atteigne ses 18 ans au mois de mars prochain. Est-ce que la Child Development Unit a-t-elle été informée de ce cas? Si oui, qu'est-ce qui sera fait?
Je vais répondre la même chose. Je ne suis pas au courant de ce cas. Si vous avez un cas spécifique, n'hésitez pas à venir vers moi ou vers les services du ministère. On va s'enquérir et prendra les décisions qui s'imposent.
Quel hôpital, au moins? Quel hôpital? G2 à Port-Louis. Je pense qu'on peut laisser la ministre souffler un peu. Allez-y, allez. Moi, maintenant, du coup, je suis perdue, comme d'habitude. Allez. Nous avons, je pense, l'honorable second member for Vieux-Grand-Port. Right?
Thank you, Madam the Speaker. Is question B/1059, please.
Yes. Madam Speaker, with regard to part A of the question, I am informed by the Traffic Management and Road Safety Unit that the issue of providing additional parking facilities at Point Duchap does not fall under the purview of that unit. However, as per information obtained from the Beach Authority, only 2 parking areas are currently available at the locus, both accommodating a total of 12 parking lots. These parking spaces have been provided by the Ministry of Environment, Solid Waste Management and Climate Change as part of the Coastal Protection Works and partly by the National Heritage Fund as the ruins of the French batteries located there is a National Heritage Site. The topography of the land at Point Jujab as well as the geometry of the road makes it very difficult for the provision of additional space, as requested in the question. Being given that the place is a very popular viewpoint, the available parking spaces are fully booked, particularly during weekends, and vehicles even park on the roadside, thus giving rise to potential traffic hazards. As regard Part B of the question, Madam Speaker, I have requested the TRMSU to consider the possibility of implementing appropriate traffic management measures along the coastal road at the locus with a view to improving road safety. The police has also been requested to step up enforcement on inconsiderate on-street parking, particularly during weekends. Madam Speaker, as we are dealing with the issue of parking, allow me, and I seek your indulgence for 2 minutes at most, to raise a problem faced by disabled persons in our towns. There are 80 parking spaces provided by the four disabled persons. My colleague, Mr. Honorable Ashok Subbo, Minister of Social Integration, Social Security and National Solidarity, has recently drawn my attention, last week in fact, to the fact that the parking slot earmarked for disabled persons are very often illegally occupied by other vehicle users. This causes undue hardships to those who really need these parking facilities for their commuting and access to essential services. To deter such practices, my ministry is considering to introduce strong measures against contraveners. To that effect, the parking fines for illegal use of parking slots reserved for disabled persons will be reviewed upwards. And we are thinking of doing this in the context of the revised parking rates that was announced by the Honourable Prime Minister during budget time. As such, the project fine of 1,000 rupees provided for such unlawful use of parking could be increased to 5,000 rupees, subject to government approval. As a last note, Madam Speaker, I therefore appeal to vehicle users to be very cautious and abstain from parking illegally in areas demarcated for disabled persons. Thank you.
Yes, Madam the Speaker, being given that this is a very popular historical site attracting lots of tourists and local visitors on weekdays and public holidays, would the Honourable Minister consider the possibility of requesting the relevant authorities to remove the wooden barriers that are next and adjacent to the existing canal itself and provide adequate parking facilities for the safety of the road users and the visitors?
I will ask the Traffic Management and Road Safety Unit to liaise with the Ministry of Environment and to try and sort out this issue. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Honourable Third Member for Grand Bay Poudre d'Or, will you wait for a few minutes, please? Honourable Mohammed is stuck in the traffic, so we'll wait. Hopefully he will be here. Let's proceed with Honourable Third Member for Babassin and Petite Rivière. Mr. Kiran.
1062, please.
Mr. Speaker, the former Liverpool Football Club International Academy Mauritius, commonly referred to as the Liverpool Football Academy, was set up in June 2019 and was based at the Côte d'Or National Sport Complex. I'm informed by the Mauritius Multi-Sport Infrastructure Limited that the young footballers who form part of the former Liverpool Football Academy benefited from a comprehensive support program across all age groups. This included free coaching, provision of training kits and transport facilities to attend training sessions 3 times weekly, medical and paramedical assistance, including physiotherapy session and access to gym facilities, regular physical fitness assessment and guidance on proper nutrition and diet. The trainees were covered by an insurance scheme, and trainees who required academic assistance were granted financial support by the Trust Fund for Excellence in Sports. The trainees of Liverpool Football Academy were also offered the opportunity to participate in annual tours. Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I am further informed by the Mauritius Infrastructure Limited that only 4 players have progressed to professional football, 3 in USA and 1 in France. 6 other players had trials in professional clubs in Europe and Réunion Island, but unfortunately they were not successful in securing contracts. With regard to Part B of the question, I'm informed by the Mauritius Multi-Sport Infrastructure Limited that over its 6 years of operation, players released by the Liverpool Football Academy were used as a feeder system to the national football leagues. Those who were unable to secure position in the National Football League subsequently joined the Centre Technique National François Blacard, which provides a continuation pathway for players aged 18 to 20. Notwithstanding what I have just stated, Madam Speaker, I have to draw the attention of this House to the fact that the operation of the Liverpool Football Academy, together with its annual license fee, has cost the state more than 168 million rupees over its 6 years of operation. That is from 2019 to 2025. Madam Speaker, out of 545 players who have been trained under the Liverpool Football Academy, only 4 were able to secure contract with professional football teams. Even more alarming, Madam Speaker, 72 players were dismissed by the Academy for poor performance, a whopping 112 players had quit and 54 had to leave having reached the age limit. Pour un gouvernement responsable, Madame la Présidente, poursuivre sur cette voie n'était plus acceptable, compte tenu de l'état de profonde précarité dans lequel se trouvait l'économie mauricienne et les résultats non concluants. And it is precisely for this reason, Madam Speaker, that this government, as part of its program for the revival of sport, football, has come up with a new structure in form of a Centre National d'Excellence de Football.
Thank you. Yes, fine. Now I can call again on Honourable. Oh, you want to? I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Merci. Donc, peut-on savoir de l'honorable ministre, avec la fermeture de l'Académie de Liverpool, combien de joueurs de l'ancienne Académie qui vont intégrer le Centre national de formation François Blacard? Est-ce que le centre est déjà opérationnel ou bien ce sera le cas dans un proche avenir? Combien de jeunes footballeurs, toutes catégories confondues, qui étaient au Liverpool Academy ont intégré ou vont intégrer la nouvelle structure qui sera mise en place?
Madam Speaker, I would refer the honourable member to my reply to PQB 999 on la relance du football à Maurice. At our sitting on the 11th November 2025, you will have all the answer, all the reply required.
Madame la Présidente, je n'ai pas malheureusement sous la main la réponse
On va lui faire confiance
du
pour
ministre.
le moment.
Lui faire confiance, on verra bien. Et peut-il nous dire, malgré toutes les garanties qu'il nous a données par rapport à la nouvelle structure, il n'est pas sans savoir qu'il y a eu quand même cette période de transition entre la fermeture de l'Académie de Liverpool et l'ouverture de la nouvelle structure François Blacard. Il y a quand même eu plusieurs mois.
Une période grise, on va dire.
Une période morte pour ces jeunes. Donc il n'est pas sans savoir que les fléaux qui sont là et ces jeunes sont laissés à eux-mêmes, ont été laissés à eux-mêmes. Donc si je comprends bien, l'honorable ministre, peut-il nous confirmer effectivement que tous ces jeunes qui étaient à Liverpool Academy, c'est ça ma question, c'est une question simple, il peut très bien répondre s'il le veut, combien de ces jeunes vont intégrer la nouvelle structure sans que personne ne soit laissé au bord de la route?
Maybe you can answer
Already,
that. Yes.
no, I can answer, Madam Speaker. Already, all the young footballers that was in the football academy, Liverpool Academy, they are practicing now at the
Blackout. Yes, that reply, that should. We will find out in due course. You'll find out in due course. I'm coming back to the Honourable Third Member for Grand Bay Poudre and I welcome back our Honourable Minister for Housing. I thought I'd lost you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Apologies once again. When it rains, it rains. Thank you. So in answer to the question, I'm informed that the District Council of Pamplemousse is liaising with the Montchoisy Group for a release of 6 acres of private land at Fond du Sac for the construction of the market fair. And that is following important meetings that have happened in 2025. And I believe that I'm informed that on 2nd of April 2025, the Ministry of Local Government confirmed to my ministry that the market fair and other associated amenities project at Fond du Sac forms part of the list of projects to be implemented. The latter ministry had on the 12th of February 2025 also submitted a preliminary layout plan for market fair project. This is the information I have.
All right, yes. The Honourable First Member for La Caverne Phoenix.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B 1063, please.
Madam Speaker, I wish to refer the Honourable Member to my response to PQB 46 from the sitting of 4 February 2025, in which I provided an update regarding the status of implementation of e-health project, which forms part of government's broader digital transformation agenda aimed at modernizing service delivery across the health sector. Madam Speaker, Phase 1 focuses on the deployment of the foundational modules that establish the necessary digital infrastructure to support patient and health service management. The core module include a patient administration system, PAS, e-health portal and mobile application, blood transfusion services, BTS, and donor management application, reporting and analytics and laboratory information management systems. Additional modules that were initially earmarked for Phase 2 were also brought forward with a view to providing a fully paperless patient experience at the earliest possible stage. As a result of this exercise, the testing phase started on 23rd of August 2025 at Flag Hospital, which was the most advanced in terms of site preparedness. The system is currently being piloted there and in several associated primary healthcare facilities, namely Bel Air and Belvedere Mediclinics, Bramstan Area Health Center, and Medine Kandemas Community Health Center. Weekly interministerial committee meetings are being held with the Ministry of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation, the UNDP, and the consortium to fast-track implementation and resolve operational challenges in real time. Madam Speaker, with regard to the e-dispensing component, I am informed that the pharmacy module currently provides the functionality for pharmacists to view electronic prescriptions directly from the pharmacy desk and to manually mark each prescribed medicine as fully or partially dispensed. This allows for accurate tracking of prescription dispensed under the e-health system. At this stage, however, the module doesn't yet include the inventory management feature, which means that automated real-time stock control is not available at this stage. The inventory management system, together with the full e-dispensing capability, where prescriptions will be transmitted electronically from the consultation room to the pharmacy, will be implemented in a subsequent phase of this project. Madam Speaker, once the full pharmacy module is deployed, the system will allow automated stock updates, improved forecasting and replenishment planning, and better alignment between prescribing patterns and stock levels. This will considerably strengthen medicine supply chain efficiently and reduce wastage or shortages across facilities. Madam Speaker, even at this early stage, the pilot system has demonstrated tangible benefits. The digital capture of prescriptions and reduction in paper-based processes have already contributed to improved queuing management, reduced congestion at registration desks and pharmacy counters, and a smoother flow of patients within the hospital environment. This and eventual rollout of full e-dispensing will further minimize queues, reduce waiting time, and enhance the overall patient experience across public health institutions. My ministry will continue to monitor the implementation process closely and refine the system through ongoing software optimization, capacity building of staff, and strengthening of institutional processes with the objective of ensuring successful deployment of e-health system across all public health institutions.
Thank you, Minister. Yes. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. May I ask the Honourable Minister whether this project at completion phase, will it also englobe the private sector, the private health providers and private doctors, so that there is a liaison between the public sector and the private sector?
Madam Speaker, that doesn't form part of the project. I hope that later on we can take it over.
Yes, Doctor.
Speaker.
Honourable Doctor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can the Honourable Minister confirm whether provision has been made to procure generators for all the mediclinics and the AHCs that will be working on the e-health system afterwards?
If the need is felt, definitely we have to take recourse to this.
Okay, Mr. Francois.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. May I ask the Honourable Minister whether the e-health network system will consist of a link component with ORIGS, especially to facilitate transfer and follow-up of patients from ORIGS to hospitals here. Actually, it's a complete mess and it's chaotic for patients.
Madam Speaker, we are looking into this, and I'll be having consultations with the Ministry of Information Technology.
Okay. Right. Now, the Honourable Second Member for Grand Bay Poudre d'Or, Mr. Bijan. This one will be replied by Minister of Environment and Solid Waste. Yes?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B1064.
That's it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm informed by the Beach Authority that the Vale public beach of an extent of 0.32 hectare was initially partly covered with grass and sand. The plot of land is slopey with a gradient exceeding 1 meter. Representations have been made by the inhabitants for the construction of a proper football pitch. Further to requests received from inhabitants of the regions and beach users, funds were allocated during the financial year 2022-2023 to the Beach Authority for the upgrading of same to the National Development Unit under the COVID-19 Project Development Funds. Madam Speaker, with regard to A of the question, the scope of works included mainly cut and fill of the existing ground to make it level, construction of 85 meters retaining wall with infill reinforced block wall on 3 sides. Associated works with the retaining wall included construction of reinforced concrete bases, casting of a tie beam at the top, rendering and painting, supply and fixing of plastic coated chain link, laying of geotextile and leveling of the beach area with 150 millimeters to 200 millimeters fixed layer of spores, planting of grass on the beach area, supply and fixing of curbs, minor leveling of the parking space. Madam Speaker, as regards parts B and C of the question, the Beach Authority launched bids on 25th January 2023 for the project to level the ground of a public beach after bid evaluation. The contract was awarded to contractor Loro Construction Limited for the amount of 1,677,350 rupees, following board's approval on 29th March 2023. Work started on 26 May 2023, and the project was completed on 18th August 2023. The total payment affected the contractor was 1,661,964 rupees. With regards to part D1 and 2 of the question, I'm further informed that the Beach Authority will carry out further leveling works as imported sand has partly been washed out, and additional lighting will be provided also. Works are scheduled to start in 2 weeks. As regards part D3 of the question, consideration would be given for provisions of toilets and changing room facilities, taking into consideration planning policy guidelines and availability of space.
Yes. Okay, you have a question? Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can the Honourable Minister inform the House why a basic standard of safety and levelness was not achieved in the initial exercise prior to general election 2024, because this has caused much problems to the youngsters and also to the wider community of Pointe Canonier.
We all know how projects were managed prior. We have assumed you in government, so we are exploring ways and means at least to redress the situation in consultation with MPs of the constituency.
Yes, second member for Rodrigues, please.
Yes, thank you. B1065.
Madame la Présidente, en ce qui concerne la partie A1 de la question, je suis informé par le CEB que pour l'année 2025, il y a eu 20 demandes d'électricité qui nécessitaient une extension du réseau du CEB, dont 2 sont en attente à ce jour. Concernant la partie A2 de la question, pour l'année 2025, il y a eu 26 demandes de déplacement du réseau CEB, et parmi lesquelles 4 sont en attente à ce jour. Concernant la partie B1 de la question, j'ai appris que le CEB gère actuellement plusieurs programmes d'assistance visant à faciliter l'accès à l'électricité pour ses clients. Ces programmes comprennent une aide pour les extensions des réseaux basse tension d'un maximum de 5 poteaux pour les clients résidentiels, donc ceci est applicable à Rodrigues, mais aussi à Maurice, qui remplissent les conditions requises pour de tels programmes, ainsi que pour les organisations sociales, religieuses et caritatives. 2. Si les clients résidentiels ne sont pas éligibles au programme d'aide à l'extension du réseau de basse tension, c'est devant la porte pour emmener à la maison, 2 options leur sont proposées pour faciliter l'extension du réseau basse tension uniquement. Soit une contribution non remboursable de 50% du coût de projet, soit le paiement intégral du coût qui sera remboursé en part égale sur 5 ans au client. 3. Pour les nouveaux clients commerciaux, il existe le programme Faciliter les affaires, dans le cadre duquel le CEB prend en charge 50% des coûts d'extension des réseaux basse et haute tension. 4. Pour les clients industriels dont les projets sont viables, le CEB exigera le paiement intégral du coût du projet qui sera remboursé au client en part égale sur 5 ans. Si le projet n'est pas viable, le coût d'extension du réseau sera entièrement à la charge du demandeur. J'ai été informé que les 2 premiers dispositifs mentionnés ci-dessus ne s'appliquent pas aux demandes concernant des sites issus du morcellement de terrain. De plus, en ce qui concerne le déplacement du réseau, 12 colonnes, le CEB prend en charge 50% du coût du déplacement du réseau basse tension pour les clients résidentiels. Concernant la partie, le point B2, le plus important, je pense, de la question, le point B2 de la question, je tiens à informer l'Assemblée que les dispositifs applicables à Maurice sont également étendus aux clients éligibles à Rodrigues. À ce stade, Madame la Présidente, le CEB m'informe qu'aucune dérogation particulière n'est envisagée.
Yes, thank you. Madam Speaker. May I ask the Honourable Minister whether he's agreeable to table the actual rates of those déplacements de colonnes? The rates, yeah, applicable.
Déplacement.
Oui.
Oui. Déplacement de colonne.
Oui, alors, je disais que le CEB prend en charge 50% du déplacement du réseau. C'est dépendant. Dépendant de où on va mettre le poteau, si c'est un peu plus loin, ben, je peux essayer de voir, je le déposerai. Merci, madame.
The Honourable Minister mentioned that some of the schemes not applicable to morcellement you mentioned. Basically, we don't have morcellement, but we have subdivisions on the state land in Rodrigues. Whether does this make a difference so that consideration will be given in our case? We have subdivisions on state lands, but not morcellement as it is in Mauritius.
Et je peux essayer de voir avec le CEB, comme dit, vous n'avez pas de morcellement à Rodrigues, vous avez des subdivisions. Ouais, je peux essayer de voir. Ouais, merci.
Very good. Yes, so now we finish with Mr. François. Honourable First Member for La Caverne again, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B1066, please.
Madam Speaker, the Municipal Council of Aqua Phoenix has informed that it has 33 gymnasia and 15 football grounds under its jurisdiction. Comprehensive surveys have been carried out across all these sport facilities, and numerous defective items of equipment were identified in earmark for repair and upgrading. I'm tabling the renovation, rehabilitation, and re-equipping of the infrastructures that have been implemented and whose total estimate is 53.8 million rupees. The Honourable Member may wish to note that in the context of budget estimates 25-26, my ministry had submitted a proposal of 400 million rupees for construction and upgrading of amenities for all the 12 local authorities, out of which 40 million rupees was applied for the project construction and upgrading of amenities on behalf of the Municipal Council of Aqua Phoenix. Madam Speaker, it's expected that funds could be made available in the forthcoming financial years to attend the above-mentioned renovation projects.
Yes? Okay. Honourable Third Member for Bobassa, Petite Rivière.
B 1067, please.
Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that I have taken cognizance of the recording that was circulated on the eve of the elective General Assembly of the Mauritius Olympic Committee. Since this recording has never been authenticated, I do not intend to take any action in relation thereto.
I just want to seek the guidance of the chair whether it is permissible to ask a question related to an alleged recording which has not been authenticated and whose transcript has not been read before this assembly.
But we just now learned that it has not been authenticated.
No, is it permissible to ask this question?
No. One moment. Are you going to do it in my... Mr. Duval, you want to come and sit here? You want to come and sit here? He asked, there was a point of order. I cannot even give any ruling if everybody will give a ruling in my stead. What I heard, no, I'm referring to your point. What I heard was that it was not authenticated. So that was a reply to that question. So for the moment, it's okay. Now, if he asks something else, then we will see. You were a little too early. Come on.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Je considère cette affaire extrêmement grave. Malgré...
Tout est grave.
Malgré
Tout est
la
grave.
réponse que vient de nous donner l'honorable ministre, peut-il nous expliquer comment, par quel miracle, un terme qu'il aime bien utiliser, son conseiller spécial s'est arrogé le droit de parler en son nom, en invoquant même le DPM, pour faire du lobbying, pour faire du lobbying.
I will not have this. If you're referring to that same incident, the answer was it was not authenticated. So you can't put any more on that one. I don't see how you can pursue. How can you pursue that? It has not been authenticated. We don't know who it was. You know.
He knows well.
I cannot accept that. I will not allow this question. I cannot accept this question. I don't know what Mr. Duval is talking about, but I cannot accept your question.
Ruling. These National Assembly sittings at the National Assembly since the general election have time and time again referred to alleged recordings, including those of Mr. Moustache. Let me take a point of order. The point of order being, why is it that members on the government side have been able to put questions on those alleged recordings, and that the member from this side is not being allowed?
Let me answer. May I be allowed to answer? From what I heard this morning, maybe even before, there are investigations going on regarding Mr. Moustache. Whereas in this case, I understand that. I can still not, okay, when you finish all of you, may I be allowed, Honourable Minister, to reply? Now, if you go on like this, I'm going to lose, not my temper, but I'm going to lose my edge. What I was trying to say, if you will allow me, Honourable Member, what I was trying to say, I don't know if I have to believe him or not. That is not my job. What I heard him say was that it has not been authenticated. It's not the same. It's not the same situation. The other one is under investigation. So I will not take this comparison. Now let's proceed with the other questions. Alors, Honourable Fourth Member for Audrey, Mr. Edouard.
Madam Speaker, B 1068.
Thank you.
Point of order. The member is making comments from a seated position. He had the opportunity of trying to open his mouth for worthwhile reasons when he was Speaker, but chose to fly around the country using taxpayers' money. In the circumstances, Madam Speaker, may I ask you humbly to request this honourable member to start behaving in a proper manner. Shut it!
I do not want to keep repeating the same things over and over again. And we should... Please, Honourable Minister, please. Why don't you guys... Are you saying this for me? Are you saying this? Oh my Honourable members, I'm suspending the sitting. That's enough. I'm suspending the sitting.
Pas conseil au papier, Michel Dibal. Allez, pas conseil encore. Allez, pas conseil, t'as. Moi, on peut dire, après, une carte, on est devenu, j'ai pas ton camarade, moi, espèce de...